Hey, good morning, you beautiful YouTubers and you Facebook Live members. Hey, I know I got some of you guys on both forms of media, for both forms of platform. I love you guys. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and jump into Nehemiah chapter 6. You know, we guys discussed Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem before. We talked about that secret friend, that friend that is an enemy. We talked about the fake friends, and we talked about the rainstorm. Well, in chapter 6, I'm going to entitle this, They Can't Stop You, So They Plot on You. They can't stop you, so they plot on you. Listen to this. So let's go ahead and get in. Amen. Let's get into the word and see what God has to say. Well, in Nehemiah 6:1, the scripture says, Now it came to pass when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem, remember that secret enemy, that fake friend in that rainstorm, when they came, and the rest of our enemies, when they heard that I had builded the wall, this is Nehemiah talking, and that there was no breach left therein, though at that time I had not set up the doors upon the gates, that Sanballat and Geshem sent unto me, saying, Come, let us meet together in some one of the villages in the plain of Ono, but they thought to do me mischief. And I read this and I realized that when Nehemiah heard when the enemies of Nehemiah heard that he had actually did what he had started out to do, when he had actually repaired the breaches so that the enemy could not get any more, they had to set up a way to destroy him. Now listen to this. I say this, when they heard that you were strengthened, that you were renewed, that you were revitalized, that you were standing strong and sure in God, and that despite their best efforts, they cannot get you to crumble. They are like they're used to you falling. Listen to this. Let's think about this previously when Nehemiah first set out to rebuild the walls. They were like, man, no matter what you put your hands to, it's going to fail. No matter what you put your hands to, it's going to fall. No matter what you put your hands to, it's not going to work. But Nehemiah kept on building. Well, you decided that in 2018, I'm going to do the things that God has called me to do. I have rebuilt the walls. I'm dealing with the breaches, the sin, the iniquity, the strongholds, everything that kept me from my promises. I see what I need to fix. I see what I need to let go. And when the enemies begin to see that you're not that same person, when they begin to see that despite their efforts, you continually to build, you're continually to grow strong in God, you're continually to learn your identity and who you are, they try to set up a trap to get you to stop. So when they see that you're not crumbling the way that you used to, and you're not crying the way that you're used to, and you're not going off in anger the way that you're used to, and you're not turning back to sin the way that they're used to, then they secretly conspire and they come together because they're trying to figure out a way to get in. And so verse 2 said that they sent unto me. In other words, they now know that you're a new person. Listen to this. And so they can't mess with you on your turf. They can't mess with you when it comes to the Bible. They can't mess with you concerning your peers. So what do? They try to get you on their turf. They try to get you on their playing field. They try to get you. Well, I know you don't want me to come over your house, so you could come over mine. Let's meet in this place and let's meet in that place. In other words, they're trying to pull you away from your assignment, and they're trying to pull you away from the source of your strengths. Let me just get her from amongst the saints. Let me just get him from amongst the saints. Let me just get them from away from the people that are speaking truth in their ears and causing them to grow up and causing them to mature. Let me pull them away from there and let's say, let's come together. We want to talk about this thing, but the powerful thing is they want you to meet in the village in the plain of, oh no. I declare to you, tell them, oh no, I see your tricks. I see your trickery. I see your schemes. And oh no, it is plain for me to see that you up to something and I cannot come off the wall. Listen to this. They were not meeting to work it out, and they were not meeting to resolve an issue. They were really setting up Nehemiah. People are really trying to set you up, not only to try to stop you, but in Nehemiah's case, they would have either kidnapped Nehemiah or murdered him. Let me tell you something. While you have set up your mind to do the will of God in 2018, and you have set up your mind for the things that have caused you to used to fall back then, you ain't falling no more. When you have set up your mind to repair repair the breaches. I guarantee you the enemies of your souls, those who used to be out with you when you used to do your wrong, and those who used to be with you when you used to sin, as they begin to watch you build and they begin to watch you grow and they begin to watch you mature in God, if their little subtle remarks don't stop you, they will try to pull you out in the open, back on that playing field that used to be on, just to destroy you. But Nehemiah wasn't fooled. He said, and so I sent messengers unto them saying, I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease while I come down to you? Yet they sent unto him 4 times after this sort. And Nehemiah said, but I answered them after the same manner. Let me tell you something. Nehemiah wasn't stupid. He knew that they were up to no good. Instead of focusing on and exposing their treachery, because he knew that what they was up to do, he focused on his task. See, you can know what the enemy is up to. Them people that you pulled away from, that man, that woman you pulled away from, that job, that stripping you pulled away from, whatever mess you used to be involved in, you know what you came away from. You know they're trying to pull you back in, but instead of focusing on the stuff that they're doing, you say, I'm doing a great work. I'm growing in God. I'm maturing. I'm letting him mold me. I'm letting him shape me. I ain't got time to come down. I don't have time to come down and hear what you got to say. I don't have time to come down to your manipulations. I don't have time to come around to your trickery. I don't have time to fall for the things that you are texting me. I have no time for it. I cannot come down. I cannot cease to work. I have to continue what God has told me. And so continue to give them the same answer no matter what. That's what Nehemiah did. Consistency is the answer. See, instead of focusing on them and exposing their treachery, he focused on his task. He didn't have time to waste playing their silly but deadly games. He couldn't come down from the work for nobody. No matter how many times they sent a text, a letter, a IM, a DM, a Instagram, a Snapchat, no matter how many times they sent this stuff, Nehemiah couldn't come down. No matter how many times they text you to manipulate you, to scheme on you, to operate in treachery, no matter how many times they come in your DM talking about how much I love you, they I am you, emailing you and all that stuff. Come back to me. Come back to our relationship. Come back to this thing that God has pulled you away from. Nehemiah knew that the work that he was in was a great work. It was an assignment by God, that God was setting him up, setting up the walls as a defense. And Nehemiah knew the importance of staying on task. I'm telling you, I'm going to be in Nehemiah for a while, because I need for you to understand the importance of staying on task. You don't let the text messages sent to manipulate your emotions and manipulate your mind. You don't let the DM sent to you, the messenger inboxes. You don't let that stuff deter you. You don't let it make you go back. You don't let it make you resolve to do what you used to do. Stay on the wall. Please understand that it's a trap of the enemy, is a trap of the enemy, and it's trying to get you to lose focus. Don't you dare lose focus. Listen to this. So verse 5 says, then Sanballat his servant, sent Sanballat his servant unto me in the like manner the 5th time, this time with an open letter in his hand. Now, first of all, Nehemiah is a governor. You don't send a governor an open letter that's revealing everything that's inside. No, you normally put it in a nice little package and you seal it up so that the only reader is the governor or the high-ranking official. But no, this letter was sent to embarrass. Listen to this. Wherein was written in this open letter, it is reported among the heathen, and Geshem said it, listen to this, that thou and the Jews thinkest to rebel, for which cause thou buildest the wall. That's why you building the wall, that thou mayest be their king according to these words, according to what is rumored. And thou hast also appointed prophets to preach of thee at Jerusalem, saying, there is a king in Judah, and now shall be reported to the king according to these words. Come now, therefore, and let us take counsel together. Come on. Now, see, the text message didn't work and they didn't get you to act a fool, and the messenger didn't work, and the DMs and the IMs and the emails didn't work. The Instagram and the Snapchats didn't work. And so now what was supposed to be private between you and them, they now make it public. They resort to public harassment. And I'm sure that Sanballat that took these letters and posted it all around the city, just how people will consort to posting on Facebook Facebook about you and posting on Facebook about your ministry and posting on Facebook about your circumstance and posting on Facebook about your relationships and stuff and trying to publicly embarrass you so that you are forced to come to meet with them. But I'm telling you, don't come off the wall. They try to send pictures of when you was in relationship with them. And so people can talk about you. But let me tell you something. Don't come off the wall. Don't stop trying to repair the breaches. Don't stop fixing the wall. Don't stop hanging the doors. It is all a plot, a plan, and a ploy because your progress is evident. They see you are changing. They see you are growing. They see you are maturing. They see you are in the will of God. And because they couldn't stop you in private, they're going to try to destroy you in public. But do not come off the wall. Don't you dare respond to those open Facebook posts. Don't you respond to the subtle ones, the bold ones, the fake ones, the ones that try to rain on your storm. Don't you dare respond to them. I ain't nothing without you, girl. Come back in my life. And you know God said, leave them alone. I ain't nothing without you, boy, when God said, leave her alone. We're nothing without you. Please come back to this place, this assembly, this building. And God has told you to leave the place. Let me tell you something. If they couldn't do it in private, they will try to expose you in public, but don't you dare come off the wall. My God. This is a good word. Now check this out. And so they resorted to some of the stuff that we do now. So no longer is the matter concealed anymore. And no longer is it a secret anymore. And the supposed wrong that you supposedly had done is now in full view of the world. And Facebook knows that you did this to them. And Facebook knows that you said this. And Facebook knows that you're operating this way. And so they even came with the, well, so-and-so said you did this, or the dreaded, well, people are saying you did this, all to get you nervous, all to get you scared, all to get you afraid, and all to get you off the wall. Well, people have been saying, who's the people? Show me the people. Well, I heard it said, well, let's go to the one that told you. Come on, y'all start calling them out. Well, people said you should do this. Well, call them on the phone. Let's get it together. See, the problem with this mentality is they're trying to destroy the work and the progress that is evident. It is evident that you are growing. It is evident that you are moving in God. It is evident that God is changing you. It is evident that you are rebuilding. It is evident that your identity is now being solidified. It is evident that God is making a move in you. And because I couldn't manipulate you in private, listen to this. Now they want to try to embarrass you in public. But be like Nehemiah. Do not come off the wall. And so in verse 8, Nehemiah said, I sent unto him saying, there are no such things done as thou sayest, but thou feightest these words. You are lying. You are inventing these words. Listen to this. He said, and this is out of your own heart. Ain't nobody said nothing, and people ain't saying nothing. That is your own invention. That is your own mindset. That is your own thought process. That is your own paranoia, schizophrenia, suspicion. That's all you. Ain't nobody saying nothing. I know I've done no such thing. I'm not coming off the wall. Let me tell you something. Nehemiah wasn't fooled by what they were saying. See, you don't have to chase down the line, and neither do you have to defend yourself against them. It only makes you feel guilty, and according to them, it lends credence to their lies. And so in other words, if they posted something and you come back in rebellion, and they posted something, you come back and give a defense. They only say it's the loud ones, the only ones that squeal first, them the ones that are guilty. No, I'm squealing because you lying. But let me tell you something. Stop squealing. Leave their lies alone. Let them post whatever they want to. Let them put up whatever pictures they want to. Let them put that open letter of embarrassment. God is your defense. God is your strength. God is the one who fights your battle. You ain't fighting this thing alone, baby. They coming against the God in you, the righteousness in you, the holiness in you, the thing that you are building up, the thing that you are allowing God to mature. You are moving into your destiny. You are moving into your mega. You are moving into your catapult. You are destroying ancestral, generational alliances, allegiances, generational curses, and iniquities, and your life is literally changing, and they see it. And because they can no longer easily manipulate you, and because they can no longer easily tear you down and get you to crumble and get you to fall, now they will try to publicly embarrass you. But don't you come off the wall. Listen to this. And don't you come off the assignment. Nehemiah wasn't fooled. In verse 9 said, for they all made us afraid, or they were trying to come and make us afraid, and they were attempting to make them afraid, saying, their hand shall be weakened from the work. See, if I can get them to cry like I used to, or get them to crumble like I used to, if I can get them back to my bed of fornication or adultery like I used to, if I can get them to come back to this place that God said leave, if my open accusations and my open lies can get them to operate in fear, and if it can get them to operate in loneliness, they ain't gonna never have another man. Let me tell them that, you got too many children, and ain't no man gonna want 3 or 4 or 5 children, and you ain't got no money. Ain't no woman want no broke man, and so you might as well stick with me, and all these lies that they try to come in. I know you talking about God don't want you in relationship with me, but we got to stay in relationship. And I know you said God told you to move on from this place because you literally see the work that is being done. You literally seeing the sin that's being done. And yes, you may be seeing something, but God didn't tell you to leave. Let me tell you something. And so when they say, well, people tell me you spoke this and people said you said that, and you ain't said a word, don't chase down the lie, baby. Don't even give credence to the manipulation. You keep moving in the hand and the plan of God. Stay on the wall. Do not come down. Stay on the wall. Do not come down, because they are only trying to weaken you. They're only trying to weaken your resolve. They're trying to make you leave the assignment. Never build yourself up, because when you are in a weak state, then you're dependent on them. But when you're strong, you're dependent on him. Listen to this. In your weak state, you were dependent on them. But now that the Lord has built you up, you're dependent on him. And so they have lost their grip. They have lost their hold. They have lost their manipulation. They can't gaslight you no more. And so now they're trying to publicly embarrass you. Don't you come off the wall. Listen to this. And so Nehemiah told them, don't you be afraid. Because now, therefore, oh God, strengthen my hands. Let me tell you something. As you stay in the will of God and the plan of God, you stay in the design of God and the thing that God has given you to do. You have already been given a writ of permission to go forth. Here's your green light. Capture the things that I promised you. Do the things that I said that you should do. I have ordained you for greatness. You don't allow the ones who are afraid of your greatness to stop you. You don't allow the enemies of your destiny to try to stop you, because they are allowing the enemy to use them to be a friend in secret, to be a fake friend, to be a bold friend that says, I really don't like you. Listen to this, and be somebody that rain on your parade. But let me tell you something. Don't you come off the wall. The Lord your God will strengthen your hands. Listen to this. And so verse 10 in Nehemiah 6 says, afterwards, I came into the house of Shemaiah, the son of Delaiah, the son of Mehetabel, who was shut up. And he said, let us meet together in the house of God within the temple, and let us shut the doors of the temple, for they will come to slay thee. Yea, in the night they will come to slay thee. Now, as I read this, the first thing that got on my nerves was that name Delilah was too close to Delilah. And I don't trust no Delilahs, because you come to get my secrets. You come to see what I'm doing so you can try to set me down. So it was too close to that. That's the first thing that got on my nerves. But then as I continue to realize, it says who was shut up. You already shut up. Listen to this. You were already confined. And I know people say, no, he was shut up and he was consecrated, and he was appearing because he was appearing as something he was not. And so he was all deep and he stayed to himself and all that stuff, but he was a false prophet. But I looked at this like this. Wait a minute. You already shut up. You already confined. Your words already don't have no power. You can't bring forth nothing. So how you going to counsel me when you already shut up? The Lord won't even let the things that you speak come to pass. Come on. You already shut up. That's why none of your marriages work. That's why none of your relationships work. That's why the things you're even doing now is falling down to the ground, and God is moving me because I've yielded to him. Man, you already shut up. Hey, that's a plain oh no. That's a plain oh no. I don't receive your counsel. I don't receive your words. You ain't got nothing to say up to me. You already confined. You have already been shut down by the Lord. Your words don't mean nothing. So how you gonna counsel me? That's a big oh no. Whew. Listen to this. Nehemiah was looking at this. See, one thing about this is Nehemiah ain't dumb. For Nehemiah to have gone in the temple, he would have transgressed Mosaic law. The only ones who can go into the temple and hide and do any type of work are the priests or the Levite. So in other words, this man was setting them up for a downfall, to get him in a place that he shouldn't be. Listen to this. And in verse 11, Nehemiah said, and I said, so such a man as I flee, and who is there that being as I am, will go into the temple to save his life? I will not go in. I know what the Lord has declared. He ain't told me to come back to your apartment. He ain't told me to get back in relationship with you. He ain't told me to have no sex outside of marriage. God ain't told me to do no down low and no low down stuff. God ain't told me to do that junk. God ain't tell me to stop working on me, stop presenting myself to him so he can fix me. The Lord ain't spoke that. You are a liar. You are a false prophet, and I'm not listening. Nehemiah wasn't done. Listen to this. Verse 12 says, Nehemiah was like, wait a minute, and lo, I perceived that God had not sent him. Come on, your alarm bells ain't been going off. When people say, hey, come over here, I want to talk to you for a little bit. I know me and you we got the same problem with that person, and I heard that they was going to do this. No, baby, you set me up for the trap. You was a sent one by the very person you talking about. Listen to this. And lo, I perceived that God had not sent him, but that he pronounced this prophecy against me. For Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. Therefore was he hired that I should be afraid and do so and sin, that they may have matter for an evil report, that they may reproach me. Listen to this. You already shut down. And you talking about let's meet. You want to take me to a place that God told me to get out of. You trying to take me back to the strip club that he just pulled me out of. You trying to take me back to that apartment where I used to fornicate, commit adultery, do homosexual sins in, and God done pulled me out, and I done got my life together. But you trying to get me there so you can take a selfie, so you can prove to everybody that I'm in a place that I shouldn't have never been. I'm in a position that I shouldn't have never been in. You ain't going to secretly videotape me having sex with you because I'm smart enough to know this is a trap. You ain't going to secretly record me talking about the very same person who sent you so you can lend credence to their lies about me, baby. I'm sorry. The Lord, his trumpet is sounding in my ear. The Lord is allowing the Holy Ghost antenna to go off. I know you are a liar. I know this is a setup. I know this is a trap. I'm not coming off the wall. Woo-wee. Let me tell you something. They only trying to destroy your testimony. Your progress is evident. Come on. The things that you're doing for God is evident. Come on. The work that you're doing for God is evident. The mere fact that you are changing is evident. Oh, that's a plain oh no. That's a plain oh no. Oh no, I ain't meeting with you. I know that they sent you over here to get some. Yeah, I just want to talk to you about so-and-so because, they are acting kind of strange. And yeah, they are. Let me tell you something. He'll bring a bone, will carry a bone. If they bring gossip to you, they'll take gossip from you. Let me tell you something. This was nothing but a trap. Why you trying to call me back to a place and position that you know God has called me out of? Why you trying to get me in conversation that you know God has said, no, I can't be in? Why are you trying to cause me to speak down on leadership? To speak down on my own life, to speak down on people. Why are you trying to do this? No, I'm not coming down. I see your trap. I see that they sent you. You are a false prophet. You are a false witness. You are a false evangelist. You are a false apostle. You are false. And I'm sorry. I ain't coming down off the work. Woo-wee. My God. That's a plain old no. I ain't going nowhere with you. You won't have your selfie stick out on me. You won't have no hidden cameras on me. I'm sorry, you ain't gonna get me down there to stop the work. You're not about to make me afraid and make me stop pressing into God, for God to build me, for God to make me, for God to catapult me, for God to send me, for God to shoot me forward like an arrow. You ain't about to stop that. I understand you were sitting here by them false prophets. You were sitting here by my enemy. You were coming to do recognizance. You were trying to send back an evil word and an evil report. You was trying to get my name blackballed and blacklisted. You were trying to get my name destroyed and torn down. You're trying to get the assignment to be stopped and hindered in my life. But I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, ma'am. That's a plain old no. I will not be going. Woo-wee. Somebody better give God some praise right there. See, while they're trying to shut you down, God has already caused you to prosper. While they've already shut you down, they haven't realized that God has given you a writ of permission to be builded, to be molded, to be shaped, to be created in his image and likeness, to complete your assignment, to grasp your destiny, to pursue what he has given you. You're pursuing purpose, and they trying to shut you down because they stopped. Woo-wee! Because they ain't pushing in their purpose no more. They ain't pushing in their assignment no more. They done stopped and they done stayed right here, and right here was good enough. But you didn't want right here. You want to go as high as God will take you, as deep as God will take you, and they happy with the level playing ground. But you are ready to go where God has called you to go. Don't you let them stop the work. Don't you come off the wall. That's a plain oh no. Listen to this. So verse 14, my God. This is Nehemiah now praying to God again, because righteous indignation said, God, I'm tired of them coming at me. I'm tired of them coming for me. I ain't coming off the wall. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to finish letting you complete this thing in me. I'm going to finish letting you expose the stuff in me. I'm going to repair the breaches. I'm going to seal the cracks. I'm going to hang the doors. I'm going to allow myself, Father God, to be fixed by you and molded by you and shaped by you. I'm going to allow you to put your fire on me, to make me and mold me so you can mold me as a pottery and clay, so I'm perfect in your hands. I'm not coming down for nobody. So, oh God, my God, think thou about Tobiah, that false friend, and Sanballat, that secret enemy, according to their words, according to their works, this sneaky stuff they're trying to do against me, this manipulative stuff they're trying to do against me. This stuff that's trying to hinder me, stop me. This public post on Facebook, this public post on Instagram, this public post on Periscope and all the stuff that they are sending around to people and all the text messages that they are sending around. Oh God, see their works. He said, think thou upon them. And on the prophetess Nodiah, prophetess, this female, this chick that's speaking, a false prophet, false prophetess, and the rest of the prophets that would have put me in fear. See, God, my enemies are growing because of the work. Come on. My enemies are growing because of the work. These false prophets, these false prophetess, these false friends, they are the greatest threat, let me tell you, against the kingdom. Let me tell you why. Because they have an air of sanctimony. They have an air of being in the presence of God, but they are full of deceit. They stink and they are rotten to the core. They are rotten to the heart. All these false prophets who make gains of God's people, all these false prophets who are picking the pockets of God's people. All these false people who try to tell you, don't do that. You shouldn't do that. You ain't ready. It ain't your time. Come on. False prophets will try to get you to stop when they seeing you doing the work. A true prophet will tell you not only why you should stop, but what the Lord has said about it. And it will agree with your spirit as to why you probably need to slow down. But no, these people were mad at Nehemiah because he was doing a great work. They were mad at Nehemiah because he would not be distracted, because his progress was evident. And so they try to lie and say, you just trying to build yourself up so you can be a pastor. And you just trying to build yourself up so you can take my place, and you just trying to build yourself up because you think you better than everybody, and you just trying to build yourself up for all the reasons, all the lies they trying to send at you, when all you know is no. I'm allowing God to mold me. I'm allowing God to shape me. I'm allowing God to make me, because he told me according to his word in Jeremiah 1:5 that before I was formed in my mama's womb, he knew me, and before I came forth out of the womb, he ordained me. He called me to be a prophet unto a nation. In other words, he sent me here with an assignment. I'm tired of missing my assignment. I'm tired of missing the work. And I have just determined I'm going to do the work. I have just determined I'm going to grab hold of that thing for which he grabbed hold of me for. There was a purpose that God pulled me out of sin. There was a purpose that God pulled me out of darkness. And for that very purpose and for that very reason, I'm going to run after God with all that's in me. So if you decided to stop, that's all on you. But I am not listening to your lies or your manipulations. I'm not coming off the wall. You are not going to cause me to stop. That's a plain oh no. Listen to this. I'm almost done now. Verse 25. So the wall was finished. Come on. Some of y'all say, oh, I'm going to finish this thing. I'm not going to be stopped this time. I done put too much work in this. I done put too much effort in this. I done put too much prayer in this. I done put too much sweat in this. I work with this hand and I fought with this hand. I done too much spiritual warfare. I've been through too much deliverance. I have crucified my flesh too much. I'm not going to let the work be stopped. So the wall was finished in the 20th and 5th day of the month. It said Elu in 52 days. 52 days. A short work for a great work. Listen to this. A short amount of time for a great work. Let me tell you something. You put your mind to doing what God has called you to do. You put your mind to completing the task that God has called you. You put your mind to pursuing your purpose and destiny. You're writing out your vision. You're making it plain. You're setting up goals. You're pursuing them things every day. God's going to do a quick work with you in a short while. My God, listen to this. And it came to pass that when all our enemies heard thereof, and all the heathen that were about us saw these things, that they were much cast down in their own eyes. They start feeling bad about themselves. Listen to this. For they perceived that this work was wrought of God. They perceived that this work was accomplished by God. Let me tell you something. They can do all that talking about you. They can do all that pulling you down. But as you continue to build, and as they see the glow and the glory of God on you, and as they see God moving you from place to place and taking you from glory to glory, and as God is shifting you from level to level and dimension to dimension, and you're moving in a new level of prosperity and a new level of wealth and a new level of health and a new level of knowledge and a new level of wisdom and a new level of deliverance, as they begin to see that your identity has been solidified in Christ, and they realize that all their traps, all their schemes, all their text messages, all their Facebook posts, both subtle and bold, that none of that work, that none of that shut you down, that you continued in the work. They'll continue to look at themselves and realize I'm a wretch undone. They'll begin to look at themselves and realize that I've been fighting against the work of God. I've been fighting against the hand of God. I've been working against the plan of God. See, despite the distractions, Nehemiah finished the wall. I'm telling you, despite their words, despite their text messages, despite their inboxes, despite their messengers, despite them trying to call you into an old place, despite them trying to manipulate your emotions and manipulate your mind and try to cause you to fear and tell you that you ain't going to be able to do it and tell you ain't going to be able to stand, and you try to do this before but you fail before. I encourage you, man and woman of God, today to stay on the wall, stay in the hand of God. God has given you the writ of permission. God has given you the green light to go. God has already spoken. The King of Kings has already spoken into the spirit realm and told them devils to get out your way. Let them get to this place. When they get to this place, even though you might try to come at them, because I've let them get to this place, they're not coming down. They're not going to stop. They will not be hindered. They will not be blocked. I share with you, man and woman of God, your assignment, your end has already been completed in God. He said, I know the thoughts that I have for you, saith the Lord. Thoughts of good, Jeremiah 29:11, and not of evil, to give you a future and an expected end. God has already planned out your end. Your end is finished in him. Don't you allow them to make you come off the wall. Don't you allow them to make you stop the work. Don't you allow them to make you stop building up yourself in your most holy faith. Don't you allow them to manipulate you back into your past, back into you who you used to be. Don't let fear get in and whisper in your ear that you can't make it, that you can't do it, that you'll never be new, that you'll continue to fall, that your bloodline ain't cleansed. I'm telling you right now, if you have accepted Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, you continue to ask the blood of Jesus to continue to filtrate your body, continue to flow through your body, become white hot in your body. Listen to me, man and woman of God, so that the enemy in no wise will be able to stop you, that the enemy in no wise will be able to cast you down, that the enemy in no wise will be able to make you move in fear. I decree that you will stay on the wall.